Hello again and welcome to another thevirtualinstructor.com video art lesson. Today we're going to be dealing with charcoal and we're going to be doing a drawing of a skull. We're going to be using a charcoal pencil with compressed charcoal. We're going to be using vine charcoal. We're also going to be using compressed charcoal that's not in a pencil form and white compressed charcoal as well. We're going to be working on gray paper. Gray paper is a nice medium tone to start with. We're going to start off the skull by drawing loosely with the compressed charcoal and a charcoal pencil. You'll notice the way I'm holding the charcoal pencil is not like you would hold a regular pencil. I'm holding it very loosely at the end of my two fingertips. It's going to allow me to be loose with the charcoal. Charcoal is a medium that you want to be loose with. Charcoal is actually very related to painting, so we're going to be very loose like we would be in painting, especially when we're starting out this drawing. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just looking at the skull and I'm looking at the areas where it gets a little bit darker, and I'm kind of mapping out those areas of darker value. At the same time, I'm looking at the shapes that are made, and I'm drawing very loosely those shapes that are made. And what I'm expecting to happen is the image of the skull is going to start to pop out a little bit. It's very important that you are looking at some type of subject matter for this. And in my case, I have a skull that I'm looking at. It is missing the bottom jaw, so I'll only be doing the top half of the jaw. Now I'm going to go to some of the vine charcoal. Charcoal is actually burnt wood, and it's allowed to make the marks on the surface because as you run the material over the surface, it spreads out. Vine charcoal is great for using your fingers and spreading the medium around on the surface, so I'll be doing a lot of that. And vine charcoal is very easy to erase, so if you find you need to erase, vine charcoal is very, very easy to erase. Right now I'm just kind of mapping out the darker values. I see a lot of students make the mistake of trying to draw everything with lines, and everything is just not linear. We see things because of value, so it's very important to understand value and be able to draw those values. All the time I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting a full range of value, so I'm making sure that I focus on getting dark values, midtones, and highlights. Right now I'm still working on the midtones and the darker values. Still trying to stay very loose, not worrying about straight lines. Straight lines kind of add a little bit of character. Alright, at this point I'm thinking about my light source, so I'm going to go back in and put some of the highlighted areas. So I'm going to start where the light source is the strongest, and I'm going to add some of those highlighted areas with some of the compressed white charcoal. Compressed charcoal is charcoal that's basically been compressed together, so it goes on a little bit heavier than the vine charcoal. And it's a little harder to erase, but it does give you those bold marks that you need when you're doing a charcoal drawing. You can smudge compressed charcoal. It just doesn't spread as easily as vine charcoal. Drawing is very similar to working with clay, where when you're working with clay, you might have a big mass of nothingness, and the more you mold it, the more it starts to become something. Same thing with the drawing. It might start real sloppy and messy and slowly start to begin to look like something. This is the end of part 1. I I hope you'll finish up with us on part 2.